The memoir, a space for vulnerability, a canvas for personal history, a reckoning with the past, a journey through time. For Kamala Harris, the first female Black and Asian American vice president, her memoir became a lightning rod. Controversy erupted and debates ensued. Her narrative of identity, of heritage, was thrust into the harsh glare of public scrutiny, dissected by critics and supporters alike. Was she claiming a Black identity that wasn't hers? Was her portrayal of her roots authentic? Were the stories of her family's past, particularly those of slave-owning ancestors, true? These questions sparked intense debate. The questions lingered, casting a shadow over her groundbreaking achievements, creating a complex narrative. This essay delves into the heart of the Kamala Harris memoir controversy, examining the layers of her story. It explores the complexities of her Jamaican and Indian ancestry, the dual heritage that shapes her identity. It grapples with the weight of racial identity in America, particularly for a woman who embodies multiple heritages, navigating a multifaceted identity, and it wades into the murky waters of history, where family lore and documented truth often diverge, creating a tapestry of narratives. Ultimately, this is a story about more than one woman's memoir. It's a reflection on identity and heritage. It's about the stories we tell ourselves, the ways we grapple with the sins of our ancestors, and the ongoing struggle to define identity in a nation haunted by its past, striving for a more inclusive future. Kamala Harris's heritage is a tapestry woven from two distinct threads, Jamaican and Indian. On her father's side, she descends from Jamaican parentage. Her father, Donald Harris, arrived in the United States to pursue economics, a field where he would become a Stanford University professor. His lineage traces back to Jamaica, an island marked by its history of British colonialism, and the enduring legacy of the transatlantic slave trade. Her mother, Shyamala Gopalan, emigrated from India, bringing with her the rich cultural traditions and complexities of her homeland. India, with its own history of caste systems and colonial struggles, added another layer to Harris's diverse heritage. These two distinct lineages intersect in Kamala Harris, making her a living embodiment of the American immigrant story, a testament to the blending of cultures that defines the nation. However, it is within this blending, this claiming of multiple heritages, that the seeds of controversy were sown. In the United States, race is more than just a matter of genealogy. It's a lived experience, a social construct laden with centuries of pain, oppression, and resilience. For Black Americans, identity is inexorably linked to the legacy of slavery, Jim Crow, and systemic racism. So, when Kamala Harris, with her multiracial background, embraced the label of Black, it sparked a debate. Some questioned her claim to Blackness, pointing to her Indian heritage and lighter complexion as evidence of a distance from the Black American experience. Others defended her right to self-identification, arguing that race is not defined solely by ancestry, but also by lived experience, cultural connection, and self-perception. This debate highlighted the complexities of racial identity, particularly in an increasingly multiracial America. It forced a reckoning with the ways in which we define ourselves and others, exposing the limitations of rigid racial categories. Perhaps the most contentious aspect of Harris's memoir was the revelation about her ancestors and their connection to slavery. In her book, she recounts family stories of slave ownership on her father's side in Jamaica. This claim ignited a firestorm of controversy, with some accusing her of attempting to benefit from a history of oppression. Others pointed out that during the colonial period, particularly in the Caribbean, the lines between slave ownership and complex power dynamics could be blurred. They argued for a more nuanced understanding of history, acknowledging the complexities of the past without erasing the brutality of slavery. The plantation controversy surrounding Harris's ancestry speaks to the unresolved legacy of slavery in America and its lingering impact on our national consciousness. It compels us to confront uncomfortable truths about our collective past and to grapple with the ways in which the sins of our ancestors continue to shape the present. The memoir's lens, family lore versus historical records. Memoirs by their very nature are subjective accounts of the past. They offer a personal glimpse into the lives and experiences of individuals, often colored by emotions and personal biases. They are filtered through the lens of memory, individual interpretation, and the desire to craft a compelling narrative. This makes them both fascinating and, at times, unreliable sources of historical information. In Kamala Harris's case, her memoir relied heavily on family stories passed down through generations. These stories provided a rich tapestry of her heritage and identity. These stories, while powerful and evocative, often lacked the rigorous documentation of historical records. They painted a vivid picture but sometimes fell short of verifiable facts. This discrepancy between family lore and verifiable historical facts fueled skepticism surrounding her memoir. Readers and critics alike questioned the authenticity of certain claims. Critics questioned the accuracy of her accounts, particularly those related to her family's history with slavery. They sought concrete evidence to support or refute her narrative. While some discrepancies can be attributed to the subjective nature of memory and oral history, others raise concerns about the potential embellishment or misrepresentation of facts. This sparked a broader conversation about the reliability of personal narratives. This tension between personal narrative and historical accuracy highlights the challenges inherent in reconstructing the past. It underscores the delicate balance between honoring personal stories and adhering to factual integrity. It underscores the importance of approaching memoirs, particularly those dealing with sensitive historical issues, with a critical yet empathetic eye. Understanding the context and the limitations of personal recollections is key to appreciating their value. The power of storytelling, truth, memory, and the shaping of identity. Stories have always been a fundamental part of human culture, serving as vessels for our truths, memories, and identities. Despite the controversies, Kamala Harris's memoir serves as a powerful reminder of the power of storytelling in shaping personal and collective identities. Her words resonate with many, offering a glimpse into her life and the broader American experience. Her narrative, regardless of its factual accuracy, provides a window into the experiences of a woman navigating the complexities of race, class, and gender in America. It invites readers to reflect on their own journeys and the societal structures that influence them. Her stories, passed down through generations, reveal the ways in which families construct narratives of resilience, triumph, and belonging. These narratives become the threads that weave the fabric of family history, connecting past, present, and future. They highlight the human need to find meaning and connection within the tapestry of history, even in the face of painful truths. By confronting these truths, we can better understand our place in the world and the legacies we inherit. Ultimately, the memoir controversy surrounding Kamala Harris compels us to consider the role of storytelling in our own lives. It urges us to think about how our personal stories intersect with larger historical narratives. It challenges us to examine the stories we tell ourselves, the ways in which they shape our understanding of the world, and the responsibility we have to engage with history in a way that is both honest and compassionate. In doing so, we can foster a deeper connection to our shared human experience. Beyond the controversy, Kamala Harris and the future of American identity. The controversy surrounding Kamala Harris's memoir, while significant, should not overshadow her historic achievements or her potential to reshape the American political landscape. As the first woman and person of color to hold the office of vice president, she embodies the changing demographics and evolving identity of the United States. Her presence in the White House represents a departure from the traditional image of American leadership, challenging long-held assumptions about power, representation, and belonging. Her story, regardless of its controversies, serves as an inspiration to marginalized communities, demonstrating that the American dream, while elusive, remains within reach. Moreover, her leadership style, characterized by her sharp intellect, her commitment to social justice, and her ability to connect with people from diverse backgrounds, offers a glimpse into a more inclusive and equitable future for American politics. The unfinished conversation: race, heritage, and the search for belonging. The Kamala Harris memoir controversy is a microcosm of a larger, ongoing conversation about race, heritage, and belonging in America. It lays bare the complexities of identity in a nation grappling with its history of slavery, segregation, and systemic racism. It highlights the challenges of navigating multiple cultural identities, particularly for those whose heritage intersects with both privilege and oppression. And it compels us to confront uncomfortable truths about our collective past and the ways in which they continue to shape the present. This conversation is far from over. It demands our continued attention, our willingness to engage in difficult dialogues, and our commitment to creating a more just and equitable society for all. A call to reflection: examining our own narratives. As we grapple with the complexities of Kamala Harris's story, we are called to reflect on our own narratives of identity and belonging. What stories have shaped our understanding of ourselves and the world around us? How do we reconcile our personal histories with the larger narratives of our communities and nations? The Harris Memoir controversy serves as a potent reminder that history is not a static monolith, but rather a fluid and contested terrain. It is a tapestry woven from countless individual stories, each with its own truths, biases, and omissions. By engaging with these stories, by questioning our assumptions, and by embracing the messiness of the past, we can begin to forge a more honest and inclusive future.